Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show podcast. Yeah, another week has rolled around in the bagpiping world, and as always, we've got a lot of catching up to do. We've got tons to talk about, with competitions aplenty behind us, but also loads to come. Yeah, we're now sort of in the mid-season break right now, and you might have guessed by the title of this week's episode, we're going to start tap dancing on some landmines. Yeah. Our Rab's going to get on a soapbox and we're about to unpack some things that might be controversial. Let's say that. But anyway, before we get into this week's topic, we've got a lot of other stuff to get into. Of course, news and updates and all of that. Anyway, let's get through our introductions first of all. Let's start at the very beginning, shall we? If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, then you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk, reflecting everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, which is competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the Great Highland Bagpipe and its people. And yep, we mention it with every podcast, and this week's no different. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. There's a link in the show notes right now where you can go and click and be part of the Patreon faithful. And yeah, you're helping support the show by doing so. Now, if you do decide to click on that button and join Patreon, well, you get your hands on loads of extras. Now, I don't know. I say this every week, but for good reason. There is a wealth of stuff back there. We have a huge Patreon community, and I have to say, the wealth of extras that we provide every week now is kind of getting a bit ridiculous. That we're nearly churning stuff out daily, exclusive to Patreon subscribers. So, yeah, if you are subscribed over there on Patreon, you are immediately awesome, and you are part of the Patreon faithful. Thank you so much. But if not, don't worry. We will still be here every week on the pod regardless. Yeah, but yeah, there is all those extras there if you do want to get them. All right, so enough of plugging the Patreon and all that stuff. With every Big Rab Show, we always open the door to listener mail. bigrabshow@gmail.com is that email address. And yeah, we got quite a dose of emails following last week's show. And we'll get into all of it. Some people really seem to enjoy my genuine reaction to the world's draw, including some of the big mistakes and the errors. And I think we might talk about that in a minute or two. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I got wrong on that. But genuinely, that was the first time I clicked on the button. And I hadn't had an opportunity to really fully delve into the detail. And yeah, I might have said quite a number of incorrect things as I went along on the show. But hey, I was going into it blind. It was real, it was genuine, and filled with errors, apparently. But hey, that's one of those things. You can go back and listen to last week's episode, and you can hear me discover, oh, hold on, I got that wrong. Oh, hold on, I pronounced that incorrectly. Ah, dang it, I've read that wrong. That's the wrong grade, the wrong time. Anyway, last week's episode was a little bit messy as a result of just doing it live. And that's one of those things. You know, when you decide to give kind of a raw reaction, isn't that what it is? So, yeah, for the duration of the show, I sat there looking at the link to the draw for the Worlds, and by this stage, everybody around me had already read it, and we're already talking about it. And I was like, nope, can't do it. And I'm talking hours had passed, and I still hadn't read it yet. So, completely had to switch my phone off. I had to, cut all contact. People were calling my house. Oh, did you see the draw? No, shush. I'm not talking about it until we get it on the podcast. So, yeah, you definitely got my very real reaction to that. And, yeah, some people loved it. Some people not so much. But, hey, I guess you can't please everybody. But we'll get into that, I'm sure, later on. Anyway, well, when we get into the reaction of the reaction, I suppose. Anyway, so that summarizes a few emails. We also got an email in here asking about the Ross Miller show. Yeah, I think we promoted this on last week's episode. We were talking how Ross Miller was going to be doing a gig in a place called The Hug and Pint. So people just asking for more details on that. So I did share the details to Ross's website. That's where the tickets are. Actually, go to rossmillermusic.com. I want to get into it a little bit more in detail here. I want to kind of unpack it at this point. Because so many people did email in and ask about this. When is Ross Miller's gig? Where is it? Who's playing? And how can I get tickets? Right. The tickets for this are available on rossmillermusic.com. And yes, 12th of August, the Monday of Piping Live. And it's not part of the Piping Live Festival. It's separate. But it's still going to be a blistering good gig. Definitely not one to miss. So the pub is called The Hug and Pint. It's in Great Western Road in Glasgow. If you are trying to Google and look for it. Yeah, stick it into Google. Hug and Pint, Western Road, Glasgow. Great Western Road, Glasgow. You'll find it. And yeah, Ross Miller will be there with his band. Now, some people were asking about Ross's band. Obviously, all of these guys were involved in the recording of Ross's album called The Roke. Now, it's difficult to believe that this was released back in 2020. You know, that's 4 years ago now, which is crazy. Anyway, let's get into the band. So, on the band, we have Charlie Stewart. Of course, he was a previous BBC Young Traditional Musician of the Year. We had Graham Armstrong from Talisk. We have Rory Matheson from bands like Farah and Trip. And we had Ross Sanders, of course, from Manran. And we have Rory Grindley from Skippinish. Yeah. So quite a stellar lineup, even just for the backing band. So, yeah, for those of you that do want to go and check it out, my advice, go to rossmillermusic.com. There's quite a number of you actually asking for tickets for this. So go along to his website, go and get them there. That's where they are. So his support act, of course, is Callum McElroy, who was the, winner of the BBC Radio Scotland Young Traditional Musician of the Year. I could just about read all of that out in one breath. But yeah, I think there is discounts for if you are booking for a group larger than 10. There you are. So if you do want to, get together with a whole bunch of your mates and head to the Ross gig, there you go. So there is possible discounts available. And I have to say as well that the gig is strictly over 18s only because it is a licensed venue. So there may well be alcohols flying around. So, yeah, go and check it out, rossmillermusic.com. Hopefully that answers a whole dose of emails there. Loads of people were asking questions about that. But, yeah, shout out to Ross Miller. Very exciting gig coming up. That's the 12th of August in the Hug and Pint in Glasgow. That's going to be such a good show. All right. Also, I want to get into another email I got here from Bill LePage. How you doing? So it said, Sir, just wanted to pass along a message and thanks for the grade 4B advice. Okay. I don't remember giving advice, but here we go. Let's get into it. He says, all my people were fortunate enough to hear your podcast and comments/advice. Right, okay. He said, it's a mountain to say the least, but your take is one I've been preaching. There you go. Right, so yeah, I think I know what you're talking about now, Bill. He says, making the final is a huge achievement. Whatever happens after that is a bonus. Exactly. And that's, I said that a few times on the show last week. Some of the qualifying groups for the Worlds seriously are huge, number one, but also ultra competitive. And to be able to come through that group stage and make it to the final, that's as good as a win right there, in my opinion. So anyway, let's move on. Bill says in his email, he said, the goal for us is the best representation of ourselves and the Russian Do organization. There you go. So the Russian Do Pipe Band, shout out to you guys. And for the first time overseas as well. So, hey, there you go. Looking forward to seeing you on the grass, guys. So he said, if we do that, good things will happen. I have no doubt. Bill, well, yeah, good luck. He says, again, thanks for the shout out and the advice to all the bands. I hope they've heard it. Yeah, there you go. Yes, honestly, that is, a mantra of mine. As I've been competing through the lower grades, in my time, I have to say that if you make it through the group stage, it's very difficult not to celebrate there and then. You do have further work to do, but honestly, that's, mountain number 1 climbed. Then it's time to climb mountain number 2, which sometimes can be a very difficult task. But, yeah, getting through the group stages at the World Championships, or any major for that matter, if you make it through that group, honestly, that's as good as a win. And that has been my mantra for a long time. So anyone who is in that situation, duking it out in the lower grades and wanting to get through that group stage, if you do make it through, absolutely, you deserve a pat on the back. I'll say it again. Yeah, job done. And then just go in and enjoy it in the final is my advice. There's been many times I've made it through to the final and I've been so stressed out. I have been absolutely nervous, freaking out, going, oh my God, we've just made it. We've made it through. Oh, don't mess it up now, is what I have in my head the whole time. Don't make a slip. Don't let everybody down. Oh, and I just get this big ball of stress, right? So, yeah, ever since then, and I don't know, I had like 4 or 5 world championships like this, where the band I was in made it through to the final, and it was just a big ball of stress, and horrible situation to be in. So, yeah, I decided then the next time I would ever make it through to the final of the Worlds, I would just let it go, as they say. Yeah, just, hey, we've made it. Let's go in and have fun. And you know what? That year that we went in and just enjoyed it, played a good set and smiled at the end of it and thought, hey, there we go. That was good. And then, yeah, that was one of the highest placings I've ever done at the World Championships. So it says a lot, doesn't it? And yes, for those of you keeping score, the only major championship that I have never won is the Worlds. I know. I've said that already many times on the show. I've never won the big one, ever, as a snare drummer or even now as a piper. So it was always the only one that eluded me. I've won many other major championships along the road many times, but never the Worlds. There you go. Anyway, let's fly on. Thank you, Bill, for your email, and shout out to the Russian Do Pipe Band. Good luck to all of you in that circle, yeah. And to everyone, of course, that we give a shout out to in our podcast last week. Definitely, there's a huge mountain to climb there. If you haven't listened to last week's, do go back, and yeah, we do go into the detail there of the World Championship draw. It's definitely worthy of a listen there for sure. All right, so on that very topic of last week's episode, yeah, we're about to throw open the door to Weekly Drone, and we have one this week. So, yeah, Weekly Drone has been kind of quiet this last while. JD has been kind of sitting around bored with nothing to do, which either tells me that everything's tickety-boo in the piping world, or that you are all just way too busy playing tunes and stuff to be able to sit at a computer or a phone or whatever and type us in your story. Anyway, we do have a Weekly Drone this week. So JD, your vacation is over, my friend. Let us have it. What's this week's Weekly Drone?
It's the Weekly Drone.
Band names. Hey Rab. The word Y-O-U-G-H-A-L is pronounced y'all. You're not the first to get it wrong, and you certainly won't be the last.
Oh, Weekly Droner. Do you know what? I appreciate you taking the time to tell me. And this comes across here on the show. Sometimes we get a lot of corrections in, right? And people think they're being cheeky. You know, oh, Rab, I didn't mean to correct you, but the actual pronunciation is this. And honestly, I would rather be corrected and know that I'm doing it incorrectly and, than risk continuing to say it wrong. Do you know? And it's something I do wrong all the time. I am frequently pronouncing things incorrectly. So thank you for sending that in as a Weekly Drone, whoever you may be. And yes, I will no longer pronounce it as the Yogle Pipe Band. I will now call it Y'all. There you are. So I don't know, though. This, it was sent in to us through Weekly Drone, so it's good to hear JD back. Thanks, JD. But, yeah, essentially, this was stuff that Rab got wrong.
Stuff that Rab got wrong.
Yeah, I frequently get stuff wrong here on the show, so please do let me know. You know, honestly, as I said, some people think they're being rude or cheeky or saying, oh, here, that Rab boy's an idiot. I need to tell him he's an idiot. Then, yes, absolutely. I'm frequently getting stuff wrong here on the show. So please do let me know, especially around pronunciations. I've learned a lot this year about the pronunciations of some band names that I've been, mispronouncing now for ages. Prime example would be Kilhoman Distillery. I've always been calling them Kilchoman. So thank you to whoever corrected me. So Kilhoman Distillery, Isle of Islay. There you are. If I am pronouncing stuff incorrectly or I'm getting things wrong in the show, please do let us know. bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. or even weekly drone, like our weekly droner has done, then let us know. All right, so that's it for stuff that Rab got wrong / weekly drone, I guess. Kind of a 2-for-1 there. But anyway, so yeah, if you do want to send in your own particular weekly drone, do go to our website, thebigrabshow.com. There's a big button right at the top of the page where you can go and let us know your weekly drone. It can be complaints, moans, drones, as the topic is, or it could be saying something positive about the scene. Over the years, we have had some positive weekly drones about saying how things are going well. And if that is the case, then why not talk about it? Yeah. So let us have your own weekly drone, and hey, it may well make on to next week's show. There you are. So, that's it for weekly drone, listener mail. That's the show started off good and proper, isn't it? So, at this point, I think I'll take myself a little break, and we'll be right back with all the news and updates. Do you wish piping could be fun again? Bagpipers around the world continue to struggle with their instrument, despite hours of hard work trying to get better. Bagpiping should be fulfilling. Your hard work should pay off, showing improvement and the freedom to express yourself musically. Or why do it? The Dojo University believe every piper should be able to free themselves from musical frustration, proven over more than a decade of successful teaching and accessible anywhere with an internet connection. The Dojo is unlike any other bagpipe learning experience in the world. Let the Dojo channel your enthusiasm into a fun and fulfilling program that will empower you with the knowledge to fall in love with piping all over again. So go to dojouniversity.com/Big Rab and take advantage of our 30-day free trial of Dojo Premium membership. Join the global community of students today and rediscover the fun of bagpiping. dojouniversity.com/Big Rab for a 30-day free trial. Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk. Okay, let's get into all the news and updates. And as we've said, there's plenty to get through this week. So let's start at the start, shall we? This weekend, there's a competition happening in Renfrew, and the draw for which is now fully published on the RSPBA website. You can go and view it, but let's look at it here briefly. So, there is a Novice Juvenile B, and there's two bands in there, North Lanarkshire Schools and Renfrewshire Schools Development Band. Yeah, looking at Grade 4B, we have Greyfriars Pipe Band, Kilbarcan, Dumbarton and District, Dunoon Argyll, Paisley and District, Irvine and District, two Scots Pipes and Drums and Bugles, Govan Community will be there. Kilsyth Thistle will be there. We also have Kilmarnock, Uddingston Strathclyde, Tullyallen Pipe Band, and Barhead and District. So 13 bands in total here in Grade 4B for Renfrew. So that's quite a big competition right there. Okay. Looking at Grade 4A, we have 6 bands in total. We have North Lanarkshire Schools, Paisley and District, Govan Community, Rothsay and District, Renfrewshire Schools, and Strathendrick. Yes. Going on to Grade 3 then, on the day at Renfrew, we have Kilbarcan, Lower Clyde Pipes and Drums, Mulgai Pipe Band, we have Renfrewshire Schools, Livingston Caledonia, and Uddingston Strathclyde. There you are. We have a Grade 2 on the day, and we have a number of bands actually playing up as well. But let's get into Grade 2. We have Uddingston Pipe Band. Yes, we have Lower Clyde Pipes and Drums, Mulgai. Then we have Kilbarcan, Livingston, Caledonia, and then Uddingston Strathclyde then from Grade 3. There we are. And then we have a Grade 1 on the day as well. 3 bands in total. We have Uddingston Pipe Band, who are playing up into Grade 1, along with Scottish Power and Johnstone. There you go. And we have a pretty good complement of drum majors as well. I think we have 3 adults and 1 juvenile. There you are. So, yeah, as I've said, that's the draw. Very briefly there at Renfrew. We'll certainly be keeping across the action at this one. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, especially that Grade 4B competition with 13 bands in there. That's going to be tough right there. So, yeah, good luck to everyone at Renfrew this weekend, shaping up to be a big competition. Right. Now, this is a story, and it's not really a story, but the World Pipe Band Championships that we talked about on last week's show, at that time, the adjudicators had not been confirmed. Whenever you downloaded the draw and you viewed it, then you could see that the adjudicators were TBC. Now, what the reasons were behind this, we're not entirely sure, but we do think it is partly down to, well, the timing. Whenever we go through the draw, from last week, we've seen that there was some huge entries across the grade, especially in Grade 4B with 49 bands in total. And, yeah, coordinating all the judges in the one park at the one time with all of these different arenas all running, it was very difficult to kind of work out a schedule, not only for the bands, but also for the adjudicators. So that seems to have taken some time. Now, thankfully, today, at the point of me recording this on the 17th of July, they now finally have it figured out. So, yes, you can now go and look at the world's draw, and the adjudicators are noted down. Yes, and I know a lot of bands would sort of, they would tailor-make their performance based on the adjudicator that could potentially be watching them. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We have a few more majors to go at this point, and we are still continuing to see a lot of our Grade 1 big guns, and Grade 2 and 3 and 4 for that matter. They're all making little adjustments throughout the season. And now that the adjudicators have finally been announced for the World Championships, will we see any further changes in music? Don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that front. But if you are curious to find out who's going to be judging at the World Championships this year, it's now finally been published. rspba.org for that story. There you go. All right. I have to give a shout out to Pipin' Live this week. There's been a number of big stories dropped from Pipin' Live this last while. Just today, actually, at the point of me recording this, the draw for the R.G. Hardy & Co. Masters Solo Piping Competition the draw is available now. You can go and read it all. Oh, it does make for some good reading. Now, I have to say, I'm not going to read through the entire list here, but there are 24 competitors in total for the Masters Pembroke. All right, and it kind of reads as a who's who. Also for the MSR draw, 28 competitors in there. So, quite a huge competition. And a lot of good music to be played at the Masters. But, if you do want to go and read the full draw, you can. I'm not going to list it all off here, but 24 for the Pembroke and 28 for the MSR. That's quite a huge competition right there. So the full draw is available now up on the Pipin' Live website, or you can go to bagpipe.news where they've published the story on this. And, I think the judges, I think they've been confirmed as well. For the Pembroke event are Jack Taylor, Alan Forbes, and Angus MacDonald. And for the MSR competition, we'll have Peter Hunt, Michael Gray, and Richard Parks, MBE. There you are. So, there you are. So for those of you who've managed to secure tickets for that one, for the Masters, you're in for an absolute treat. That's going to be such a stellar competition. I have to say also for the Masters, I believe it's going to be live streamed online. Now, I have not yet confirmed this, so this could be stuff that Rab got wrong. But my advice is to go along to the Pipin' Live website. I do think there are still some tickets available for it. I'm not entirely sure. Go to the Pipin' Live website. Full details of either your in-person tickets or a possible online live stream for the R.G. Hardy Masters. Yeah, all the details are up there now. Good stuff. Also, when we're talking about the Masters, the draw for the Piping Live Pipe Idol competition has happened as well. Yeah, this is all kicking off, of course, on Monday of Piping Live, Monday the 12th of August. And full details of all competitors for the Pipe Idol competition is available up on the Piping Live website. All right, now, again, I could get into detail here and list everybody, but there's way too many to mention. And it's quite an international field as well, I have to say. Pulling in soloists from Australia, Canada, United States, of course, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the UK, but from all across the globe for Pipe Idol this year. And it's, quite an international affair, and I'm looking forward to this. It's always a huge competition, a big draw every Pipin' Live, And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. Again, for full information on tickets and getting access to the Pipe Idol competition or even to the grand final on the 15th, then go to the Pipe and Live website and grab your tickets for it. There you go. So as we're getting closer to Pipe and Live, we're starting to see more and more announcements, and it's getting very exciting now, isn't it? It's only going to be a few weeks away from now, believe it or not, before, Pipe and Live opened its doors, and it's on. It's Christmas in the bagpiping world. Now, I have to say, for us here on the Big Rab Show, we've been getting tons of questions asking about episode 400. You might have seen a dose of our stuff that we've been releasing on social media this last while, just like wee silly adverts and memes and things this last while, just promoting the event and telling people, hi, we're going to be throwing a party at Pipe and Live to celebrate 400 episodes. Yeah. So we have quite a show in store for you. I have to say, to this point, we have not announced any of the lineup or anything like that, what to expect on stage, but that has been done deliberately. Yes, we are not going to be announcing anybody. Much to the disappointment of everyone, it would appear. Yeah, a lot of people are very angry that we're not announcing the lineup for Rab Show Live. We have even had some people contact us to say, Rab, who's playing this year? Because based on who's playing this year depends on what I'm doing and whether I'll go to your show. I don't know. You're just going to have to take the risk. You're either going to miss out on an absolutely brilliant show, or you're going to miss out on a meh show, I guess. That's up to you. You can draw your own conclusions. But for now, honestly, we're going to keep the cards close to your chest. We're not going to reveal who's going to be hitting the stage. You're just going to have to take my word for it. All right? We've been working on this now for months. We knew that episode 400 was fast approaching. However, we didn't know that we were going to be playing it live at Pipe and Live. So, the biggest piping festival in the world, we cannot take that for granted. It's a huge stage to be on, and we are so honored to be a part of this incredible festival. I can't believe we're back again, but we cannot wait at the same time. So, yes, we have quite a blistering show. Now, we will release little bits of information and stuff of what you might be able to look forward to, but as far as the lineup is concerned, no. We're keeping all of it a surprise. But let's say this. It's going to be massive. All right? This is going to be one of the biggest Big Rab Show lives we have thrown ever. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, the lineup for this one is epic, and I wish I was in the audience watching this rather than being on stage presenting it. Let's say that. So, if you do decide to come to Rab Show Live at Pipe and Live, then you're going to be in for an absolute treat. If you decide not to, then, hey, fair enough. That's okay. Pipe and Live is a busy time. There's tons of other things to be at, absolutely. But you might potentially be missing out. Anyway, I hope that answers a whole dose of questions, because we did get a lot, and we're still receiving them, actually. Before I come out here to the garage to record tonight, I actually got a message saying, Rab, who's playing at the show this year? We haven't announced it, and we won't. All right, let's move on. Okay, this past week, we got quite an exciting announcement, actually, from People's Ford, Bog Hall, and Bathgate Caledonia Pipe Band. Yes, our reigning world champions from 2023. Yeah, they announced that, of course, their Caberfy concert is completely sold out. The big pre-Worlds concert on the 14th of August, completely sold out. You can't get in through the door. So if you haven't got a ticket, then you're out of luck. Or are you? Yeah, we got this exciting announcement there this past week that People's Ford, Bog Hall and Bathgate, they've realised that the show is sold out and a lot of people potentially could miss out. So, yes, they're going to be recording the entire thing. Woo! Yeah, the entire show will be recorded professionally for a live album and potentially a full concert video. Ooh, now that's exciting. But I have to say that all of this does come at a cost. And this is why People's Ford, Bog Hall and Bathgate are now making this huge announcement about a crowdfunding campaign. They want the piping crowd out there to hopefully help support the band in this venture and capture such a moment in time. Yeah, this is going to be a really special show for a multitude of reasons, and we've spoke about it before on Fuse FM and other platforms, talking all about just how amazing this show is going to be. We cannot wait for this. So, they have a crowdfunding campaign where they are asking you to donate whatever you can, and as a result, you have various different little perks available. Now, I'm not going to read through all of the perks because there's quite a few of them, but so the very first perk on the list is that, well, you can pre-order your own digital album download, all right? So if you, I don't know, throw them a tenner or something, I can't remember what the price is now, but if you do donate a certain amount of money, well, yeah, you get this perk, and you get your digital download on the day of release. Now, you also get, like, physical CDs, you get signed CDs, you get vinyl as well. Some of the ones that I've really been interested in is you can one of the perks, if you donate enough money, you can get a drum score composed for you by Kerr McQuillan. Are you kidding me? That's incredible. Yeah, so you can get an exclusive drum score for your drum corps composed by the current world solo drumming champion, Kerr McQuillan. Wow. And not only that, but you also get a chance then to get a signed CD and drumming lesson. That's another one with Kerr McQuillan. That's awesome. There's another one like a signed drum head, bag cover. You get a signed bass head by the band. That's quite special, that one. And another one that was kind of one of the higher up perks that I really was interested in was you get a signed CD, but you also get a signed world's bass head. Yeah, that's the bass drum head that was used during the band's historic World Championship win in 2023, signed by all the members of the band. Now, that is one for pipe band fans right there. All right, I have to say. But that's not top of the pile. If you have deep pockets and you want to donate tons of money, and you want to get your hands on the best possible perk, well, you can get yourself a replica of Ross Harvey's bagpipes. Oh, yeah. No, and anybody who knows the pipes that Ross plays, these things are beautiful and they sound incredible as well. So, yeah, plus you get signed CDs and all the other stuff. But I have to say, we have shared out the link and everything to the Indiegogo, .com. That's where they're running their crowdfunder, and all these different perks are all listed there. My advice to you is if you can afford a $5 note, a $10 note, whatever you can, please do donate to this. We really want to see them hit their target and make this a reality. This will absolutely be a mark in the sand and a moment in time. And yeah, these pre-Worlds concerts are really special. And to be able to have a recording of them, it's just amazing. Yeah, honestly. And another thing that I really wanted to add in there is the DVD element of it. A lot of pipe bands over this last while have been recording live albums, but there is no actual video evidence of it. Yes, Drone Chorus has been invited to quite a few of them and have released periodic YouTube videos and stuff, and they're great and all. But to have a professionally made, professionally shot production video of a live show could be absolutely off the chain. So, yeah, I want to wish everyone there at People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate the very best of luck with the crowdfunding. Of course, ourselves and the Rab Show, we've supported you, of course. But yeah, so go out there, click on the link for the Indiegogo, and yeah, give a shout out to People's Ford, Boghall and Bathgate. And pre-order that digital live album. Why not? It's definitely going to be one worthy of adding to your collection. Yes, I know the band hasn't hit the stage yet, but I can tell you now, it's going to be good. So, yeah, plenty of perks to pick from. That's not easy to say on the podcast. Plenty of perks to pick from on the podcast. There you go. I managed that tongue twister. But, yeah, go and have a look at it. Lots to choose from. And, quite a worthy cause, I would reckon there. There you go. An interesting story, that. Okay, moving swiftly on, I do want to remind everyone that the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland are still currently recruiting. Applications are open, however, the closing date is fast approaching, and that is the 20th of August. This is open to everyone aged 10 through to 25, and there are various different bursaries available as well, so that's an interesting element there. So, yeah, if affordability is an issue for you, then there's various different elements there that you can avail of. So, go to nypbs.co.uk/applications for full information. And applications close 20th of August. Just wanted to reinforce that on the show. So get your applications in if you do want to be a part of that. Okay, so just today, at the point of me recording this, we did see a bit of a social media push from the RSPBA Northern Ireland branch. Yes, they're talking about, of course, this upcoming competition for the Ulsters. Yes, the Ulster Championships is taking place on the 3rd of August in Cookstown High School. And we reported this story at the time, when the Ulster Championships did originally have a venue in Ballymena, at Ballymena Academy. However, that venue fell through. And we were in a bit of a state of panic going, hold on, where are we going to hold the Ulsters this year? Well, as you guys know, we talked about it here in the show many times now, about the Mid-Ulster section of the RSPBA Northern Ireland. Mid-Ulster branch came to the rescue and offered up the venue of Cookstown High. And we've spoke about this venue before. It's definitely one of the favourites on the team. It's very central in Northern Ireland. It's right smack bang in the middle of the country. In fact, very easy got to, with tons of ample parking and access to the town for that matter as well. They've been pushing the competition and telling people it's happening. All right, 3rd of August. I have to say, though, that there was one little bit in here that would be of interest for anyone who's wanting to attend the event. There will be a small charge of £5 per vehicle if you are planning on parking in the high school. I think that was similar to the Mid-Ulster Championships this year, actually, So just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up that if you are going to be parking your car in the school grounds, it'll cost you a £5. There you are. All right. So, for full information, go to rspbani.org, and all of that will be up there, including, I think they're now even able to take card payments as well. I think a number of people actually requested that at the Mid-Ulsters, and I'm not sure they were able to facilitate it. It was cash only. So now they're able to take card payments. There you go. So, it's brilliant to see the Ulster Championships having a venue, and shout out again to the Mid-Ulster branch, who really did come to the rescue here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the Ulsters in Cookstown. Cookstown's a smashing venue, and tons of ample space around for tuning and plenty of shelter too if it is a bad day. And let's face it, it's Northern Ireland. But really looking forward to this. So get that date in your diary. We'll be talking about it as we get closer to it. 3rd of August, the Ulster Championships. There you go. Also, wanted to give a bit of a shout out to an event that's happening on the 7th of September. Yes, the Raphoe Ulster Scots Heritage Day. Now, this is not a competition by any means, but there are lots of pipe bands who appear at this. So tons of piping action to be at for the Raphoe Ulster Scots Heritage Day. Tons of pipe bands, Highland dancing, lots of live music, food stalls, children's entertainment, all sorts of stuff. I managed to attend the event a couple of years ago now, I think at this point, as I was covering it for BBC's Radio Ulster Kintra programme. And the piping action on display here was really enjoyable. Tons of competitive bands who were just there to enjoy themselves on the day, with no competition element to worry about. A lot of them actually stretched their legs and played some competition and concert sets in a live setting. It was really, really enjoyable. So every band that attends the Ulster Scots Heritage Day in Raphoe are invited to play whatever music they feel they want to. They're given a time spot, and the band can fill that time any way they like. So, I think we did get some really interesting performances from bands at this the last time I was there. I think we filmed a number of them as well for our YouTube channel. So, just a shout out to the Raphoe Ulster Scots Heritage Day. That's on Saturday, the 7th of September. There you are. Also, speaking of Saturday, the 7th of September, and the day before it as well, the 6th, the Belfast International Tattoo. Yes. They are fast approaching, I should say. And I think, from all intents and purposes, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes in preparation for this. I'm hearing little murmurings that a lot of practicing is happening, learning of sets and scores and stuff, and looking forward to the tattoo. But just wanted to give you a heads up that is also happening. And if you haven't got your tickets yet for the Belfast International Tattoo, then go now. Go to the SSE Arena box office and grab them while you can. This event frequently sells out, and I have to say, a lot of people are always disappointed that they can't get a ticket because they leave it too late. So don't be that person. Don't leave it too late. Buy them early, and you can guarantee your entry and your seat in the building for Northern Ireland's premier event. There you go, as per the press release. No, honestly, it's a smashing good event, and it's honestly one of the highlights of the year for me each year, the Belfast Tattoo. We do a podcast from it every year. It's Brilliant event, that. Brilliant. So there you go. Grab your tickets when you can. Okay, let's talk about Flam 5, shall we? Flam 5 are up to their nonsense again. What am I talking about? Well, Flam 5 posted something on their socials yesterday that really knocked me over. They're working on a new product. Now, that's exciting. Yes, Flam 5 are always developing something new, but just what is it? Well, they've uploaded a very cryptic photograph of a practice pad. Oh, what? Yep, Flam 5 are putting together a new practice pad, and I am so curious. Of course, it has the signature colours of Flam 5, you know, with the blue and black. Looks very cool. However, the photograph that they've uploaded on their socials doesn't tell us anything. Not a thing. We have no idea what the playing surface is like. We don't know if you can mount it to a stand or any details from this. So we are very curious. But yeah, shout out to Flam 5, who are doing their very cryptic thing, as is their want, I suppose. But yeah, they are the king of tease. They're very similar to the British Drum Co. that way. British Drum Company are very good at doing that. So, hey, Flam 5 must be taking a leaf from their book and teasing us with a brand new practice pad. Yeah, as soon as we hear any further details on this, we'll certainly talk about it here on the show. But this is very exciting. Yeah, brand new practice pad from Flam 5. So not only do they do amazing drum cases, now they're doing practice pads as well. Anyway, so we'll keep across that, but that's very exciting there. Brand new product from Flam 5. Good stuff. Okay, now I know we're not in dates for your diary just yet, but I have to say, this is one for your diary. All right, Gary Smith put it out on social media yesterday, asking everyone to save the date. All right, we now have a date for next year's Kids with Cancer charity concert. This again will be held in the Royal Hotel in Cookstown. And right, get your pen and paper ready. It's going to be held on the 22nd of March next year. There you go. So, well, he also mentioned in this that as a grand total so far, the Kids with Cancer charity concert has raised £75,000. Well, if anything, over 75,000. All for the Children's Cancer Unit charity there in the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast, which is such a worthy charity. Yeah. So 75 grand, and yeah, another concert is around the corner next year. So again, get that date in the diary, folks. You will not want to miss this one. If the last one was anything to go by, whew, that was incredible. Yeah, so 22nd of March next year in the Royal Hotel in Cookstown, the Kids with Cancer Charity Night 2025. Now, as far as any announcements of the lineup are concerned, yeah, nothing. Gary is very similar to ourselves and has not announced anything yet. But as soon as we hear any further details, of course, about this event, we'll definitely let you folks know. But trust me, as soon as tickets go on sale for this, do not delay. All right? There's been so many people has missed out on previous Kids with Cancer nights, especially this year. Sold out really quickly when People's Forward, Boghall and Bathgate were taking the stage. That was a huge night and raised a ton of money. And so, yeah, my advice is as soon as you hear of tickets going on sale, grab them, okay? There you are. So, that's, yeah, another date for your diary, even though we haven't got that far. 22nd of March next year, the Kids with Cancer Charity Night. That's going to be a good one. Okay, so just to wrap up this week's news and updates, I suppose. It's not really news, something I've experienced myself. All right, now, I was out shopping with the wife and kids and stuff a couple of days ago, and just walking through Ballymena town, decided to call into a charity shop. You know, my daughter loves vintage clothes and stuff, so we were rifling through all the stuff, and I noticed that there was a box filled with vinyl, and at the front of this box of records, there was a Shots and Dykehead Caledonia LP. Now, for those of you old enough to remember LPs, yeah, that really caught my eye. So I had this striking image of Shots and Dykehead in the front, but it was them under Pipe Major Tom McAllister Jr. I thought, ooh, I'm grabbing that. Turned out the recording itself was from 1970. And, yeah, the music on this was just brilliant. Now, for full credit, I absolutely got myself a bargain here. I managed to swipe that LP for £2. £2, boys! Talk about a bargain. I couldn't grab it quick enough. And then, of course, I went through the rest of the box to see if there was any other piping albums available, and there wasn't. So clearly someone has been there before me and grabbed them all. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it on the show this week because it's been something we've been working on this last while with our Fuse FM Ballymoney radio show. We've been looking back through the archives and playing some really old recordings from back in the day, and this was one such recording that we didn't have yet. So being able to play this on air, recordings of the Mighty Shots in Dykehead, Caledonia from back in 1970, I have to say the music on this record is just brilliant. There's some really stellar 2/4, 9/8 marches. There's some really brilliant music on here. And, tunes that even stand up today, I would argue. And, we've been really enjoying playing some of these old classic recordings, but finding them is difficult, I'll say. Right now, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to convert an actual physical vinyl record into an MP3. And that's the issue. I need to convert it from analog to digital so that then I can bring it to the station and actually play it through their system. Does that make sense? Obviously, everything's all screens and technology, and they don't actually have a turntable. So, I'm in the process of trying to figure that out. But if you guys out there have any access to really old classic recordings, now I'm talking of World Pipe Band Championships or even of old pipe bands, even those that may not even be in existence anymore. Please do get in contact with us. I'm constantly trawling over the likes of eBay and charity shops like that, for example, or even car boot sales, or I suppose in the US you would call them yard sales, things like that. Anything that I can kind of pick up as being quite an interesting pipe band recording, then I would snatch it up. So if you can help us with sourcing any of these really interesting recordings, then please do get in contact with us. So we'd love to bring that music to the Big Rab Show and Fuse. Our email address, bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. If there are any classic recordings that you have and you believe we would, love to play them on air, then send them our road. We would love to hear them and share them with our audience. So what about that for £2? Not a bad wee bargain, that. And if anything, I also managed to pick up another really cool bargain. I think it was the Robert Armstrong Memorial Pipe Band. I picked that up quite a number of weeks ago, actually. And let me see. I have it in front of me here. Professional radio guy, I'm dropping stuff. This is called The Rams at Fergus Rock. There you go. And when was that recorded? Let me look at the back. 1975. So that was 5 years after the Shots recording. So the Robert Armstrong Memorial, definitely a very famous band here in the island of Ireland. I don't know. I just really love collecting all of these old pipe band recordings, and I'm in the process of trying to convert them over to MP3, which is proving difficult, but I'll figure it out. But there you go. If you do have any classic recordings that you'd like to share with us here in the show, and I've just now wrecked my studio. What's going on? I've been throwing stuff. My chanters fell on the ground. I'll pick it up. So there you go. Professional radio guy wrecking the place. But we've been really enjoying delving through the archives. And if you have an archive of your own, let us know. All right. Okay, folks. You've waited long enough, I reckon. Time to get into dates for your diary, and then we'll finally jump up on the old soapbox. I'll be right back.
Whether you play to entertain or perform to compete, it's not always easy to find the highest quality instruments and accessories that hold the keys to success from a single source. That's why pipers and drummers everywhere rely on Scott Curry Music as their one-stop pipe band shop. We supply only the world's finest bagpipe brands, including Duncan McRae, McCallum, R.G. Hardy and Company, Peter Henderson, R.T. Shepherd, Wallace Bagpipes, and not forgetting the revolutionary Blair Digital Chanter. Scott Curry Music is also home to many of the most sought-after pipe band percussion brands, such as Acoustic, Andante, British Drum Company, Hardcase, Jim Kilpatrick Percussion, Pearl, Tie Fry, and many more. And remember, as the industry-leading pioneer of custom drumhead production for pipe bands, our unparalleled experience in creating professional drumhead designs is why many of the world's top performers trust Scott Curry Music to help them stand out from the crowd with stunning state-of-the-art factory-printed drumheads by Evans and Remo. With a proven history for super deals, being well stocked, and consistently delivering fast service. It's no surprise that Scott Curry Music is the first choice for thousands of happy customers worldwide. So, what are you waiting for? Call our North Lanarkshire showroom today or visit us online at scottcurryltd.com to learn more and shop now for everything you need from Scott Curry Music, the world's local pipe band shop.
It's time for Dates for Your Diary, here on the Big Rab Show Podcast.
Yes, time for dates for your diary. So, get the pen and paper ready. Time to start scribbling down some dates. Now, I know I said at the very beginning of the show that we are in the mid-season break, but as we mentioned earlier, there's a competition happening in Renfrew. 20th of July is the date for your diary, so that's on Saturday. Plenty of piping action to be at there. Yeah. Now, also, of course, next week sees the beginning of the RSPBA summer school called Star Chaser. Runs all the way from the 22nd to the 26th of July next week, Monday to Friday. So get those dates in your diary if you're planning on attending. Also, next week, yes, it's another major. We're going to Dumbarton for the Scottish Championships. A lot of bands are already furiously preparing for this one, so this is going to be quite a huge competition, no doubt. So yeah, 27th of July, the Dumbarton Scottish Championships are ahead of us. Also then, bringing it close to home here in Northern Ireland, the Ulster Championships are taking place in Cookstown High School on the 3rd of August. That's the following week, and that's going to be quite a huge competition in itself as well. Also on the 4th of August then, on the Sunday, we have the Bridge of Allen competition. Yes, that's going to be quite a big one, that as well. Yeah, so plenty of dates for your diary over the next 2-3 weeks. So that's a lot of piping action to be at, even before we get as far as Piping Live in the Beginning. Yeah, because that's in front of us as well. So there you go, folks. Plenty of dates for your diary. Now, if there is any that you would like us to include here on the show for a possible promotion or a bit of a shout-out and inclusion in our dates for your diary, then please do email us in. bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Send us in your dates for your diary. Alrighty, you've waited this long. It's time for me now to finally go and get myself a big cup of tea, or maybe something stronger. It's time for this week's topic of the week.
Wallace Bagpipes. Quality, pride and passion, made in Scotland. Proud bagpipe supplier to the Red Hot Chili Pipers. Visit wallacebagpipes.com for more information or contact your nearest dealer.
Hello, this is Fred Morrison, and you're listening to the Big Rab Show.
Okay, let's get into it finally. Rab's Soapbox. Now, you may well remember, I don't know, for fans of the Chanter Rant podcast, there was a very famous episode of that podcast where Josh managed to get so angry, he got dubstep angry. And I think a lot of Chantaran fans will know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, dubstep music started playing in the background. It was all very hyper-aggressive, and Josh really went on a rant. Now, we didn't quite want to go that far. But it's going to get close, I have to be honest. Well, over this past season, I guess, ourselves in the Big Rab Show, we have been experiencing quite a number of things that have been really, grinding our gears, I guess. And I was chatting with the Big Rab Show team there a couple of weeks ago, and I asked them, I said, right, folks, we're going to have to make a big list of all of our complaints and our moans and drones and things that we want to yap about, and we'll put it all in one big podcast. And we'll ask the piping folk out there, have they experienced the same? Now, obviously, a lot of this is very specific for the Big Rab Show team and may not have been experienced by others. But anyway, it makes for an interesting conversation. So let's get into it. We have a whole big list of things that have really got on our goat. And yeah, number one, top of the pile. The number one thing on our list that has come through from all of us here on the Big Rab Show team is talking during performances. Oh, don't even get me started. Yeah, I have been talking about this now for years on the Rab Show podcast. It's been a real bugbear of mine and for everyone on the team, it seems. because we have expanded the Big Rab Show team. We've got quite a number of new members who've just started helping us this year, and they're experiencing these things for the first time. And yeah, you could be standing there with your camera for hours on end. Sometimes it can be quite a long stint trying to capture as many performances as possible. And what we've found is that quite a number of people who are piping fans would attend at the arena, stand right next to us, and then shout at their friend next to them during a performance because their friend would go, what? Because they can't hear them. A band's playing, obviously. And then, yeah, you get the full conversation of what they're talking about on the recording. Now, we have had to, unfortunately, abandon some recordings of performances because of the behaviour of the punters. Yeah, sometimes there's been loud swearing, laughing, coughing, sneezing, and all sorts of conversations that really should not be broadcast. So, yeah, we have apologized to those bands as that happens. In fact, this isn't a new thing. It has happened more frequently this season, I have to add. But, yeah, in previous seasons, we've had others where we've filmed a full run from the band. We watch back to the video, and we get to hear what Johnny's having for dinner that night. Or did you hear that Fiona got a new car? Oh, yeah, she wrecked the last one. What happened to her? Oh, well, she ended up over the hedge. Thankfully, nobody hurt, but the car was jiggered. And oh, come on. You get the full conversation, and it really detracts from the band in the circle who are knocking their lamps out trying to win a prize. Now, I don't know. It comes down to us and the Rab Show team. We think it shows a level of disrespect. Now, we are not really concerned. If we do happen to miss the recording, then it's missed. That's fine. But yeah, it doesn't show, if the band is in there absolutely thumping their brains out, trying to play their best and win a prize, and here's Jimmy sitting next to you talking about somebody else who's got a new job. Oh, did you hear about Timmy here? He's got a new job working in the factory. Aye, stacking boxes, he's making £5 an hour, he's doing well. And meanwhile, you're hearing a hornpipe that would melt your face, and you're thinking, what's going on? Can you not wait to talk about this guy's new job or Fiona's new car or right, this has been something we've been talking about for years. Loud talking during performances is number one on our list for a reason. If you do want to have a conversation with your friend, absolutely go ahead, but please do so in between performances. When a band is in that circle, your attention should be on that performance. You are standing there at the arena to watch it. So then why talk to your mate next to you during it? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it can be really frustrating that you get a band that's absolutely cooking and then you have someone next to you talking about, well, here, I think I might visit that chip van on the way out. I heard their burgers is very good. Aye, they do fried onions and everything. And I'm not even kidding. This is like previous examples of ones I've had to edit out. Anyway, and yeah, so loud talking during performances, 100%, top of our pile, all right? So are you getting it now? Rab Soapbox, are you getting the kind of flavour? Well, we've got quite a list here for you, folks. But that is absolutely top of the pile. Now, my advice, if you do want to have a conversation, as I've said, have your conversation in between performances. Yes, because by then, the band have finished concentrating, all right? They've hit their final cutoff. That's it. Performance is done. There's nothing more can be done. And the judges are busy writing up the last of their crit sheets. That's when you can chat. If anything, that's when we chat too. So we switch our camera off and then we talk to the people around us, And, yeah, that's the moment when you can talk, But just whenever that band is there striking in their introductions, the last thing you want to hear is about how you got new shoes that day. Or how, I think, what do you call him? Peter, he's going to be starting school, he's going on to study molecular science, I think he wants to go on to be some sort of scientist in that, aye? Right. Okay. Just, yeah. If you want to have that big conversation and the band is playing, then take it somewhere else. There's a big wide open space. You don't have to talk at the arena. You can go and talk somewhere else. Now, I do understand that sometimes there is times where you meet someone and you haven't seen them for years. And this is one example that I just was amazed at this. And this is genuine. This happened. I was standing and I was filming in grade 4B. There was a band who was on the circle and they were in the middle of their set. right? And I thought, this is going well. The band are sounding good here. I've got a good camera angle. I can hear it clearly. This is going well. Then suddenly, the guy who was sitting right next to me stood up and looked across the arena, and he thought he recognized his friend that was directly across the arena from us. And he began shouting. I'm not even kidding. He shouts over, Stevie! Stevie! Is that you, mate? Oh, Stevie, I haven't seen you for ages, mate. How are you? How's the daughter? Has she got that job after all? And what about the dogs? Have you got the dogs still? The 2 wee Cocker Spaniels. They're mad, them things. Meanwhile, I had to switch my camera off. I couldn't believe what this fella was doing. Now, I'm not going to out him. I've used different names, okay? But honest to goodness, this happened this season. This fella started shouting, and a whole conversation about Stevie, his daughter, and the dogs was shouted across the arena as the band was playing. Now, I was just amazed. I'd switched my camera off, and I was hoping that this fella would stop. But no, he didn't. He kept it going. The guy across the arena was clearly embarrassed, didn't want to answer any of his questions, and just decided to look at his feet. Meanwhile, the judges started looking across at this fella, because clearly they could hear him. And, they were looking over and going, wow, what's going on? Now, this was first thing in the morning, so drink could definitely not be a factor here. I just don't know what was going on. Needless to say, after the band had finished their cut-off, and that was it, the crowd gave a clap and thought, oh my word, how they had to play through the middle of that madness. Well, the man immediately shut up. He just stopped talking. He just stopped. As soon as the band hit their cut-off, bing, he stopped. No more conversation out of him. Quiet as a church mouse. And I thought, well, why didn't you want to shout over to Stevie now? You know? Why wait? Why do it during the band's performance when you could wait a little bit and do it at the end? Made absolutely no sense, and I feel sorry for the band. I'm not going to mention them and then people will know what competition it was and who exactly I'm talking about. Needless to say, after the band had marched out of the circle, the judges were still kind of giving side eyes and stuff to this poor guy, and eventually I think he got the hint. A few people might have had a choice word with him, and I wasn't a part of it, mind you. I kept my mouth shut throughout. I just decided to let this fella, let him tear on, as they say here in Northern Ireland. But thankfully, after a very short period of time, he decided to walk across the arena to go and talk to Stevie in person. So, I hope you're very happy. But to that band who played that performance, I'm sure you know exactly who I'm talking about right now, and you're probably all laughing. But there you go. Loud talking during performances. I think that's enough of unpacking that one, but that's definitely top of our list. All right. On to the next point on Big Rab Show's Soapbox is something that we've been getting over this last few seasons now, since post-pandemic, when we have made the decision not to live stream performances. Instead, we've been filming for upload to our YouTube channel. Now, we've been finding this to be very successful for a lot of different reasons. We'll get into that. But first of all, I want to talk about our biggest complaint. We've had so many complaints from around the scene that we're not live streaming performances or that we're not filming a particular band or a particular grade. So many complaints. Now, I understand that people can't make it to the competition and they want to see it live. We've done that in the past. Now, we have really struggled over those last few years with technology, with cell phone signal and all of it, and we found that the quality of our live streams was pants, to be honest. It really wasn't good. And, we were kind of doing an injustice to the bands that we were live streaming. Yes, you did get to see the action live, but what you got to see was not the best possible product that we could produce. The visuals were very grainy and blocky, and sometimes it froze a lot. The sound itself as well was very compressed. There wasn't much high or low end. It was just meh, as if you were kind of filming a pipe band playing in a cardboard box. So we decided, okay, live streaming of pipe band performances is not working for us. But the equipment that we have available to us, it's just not working. So what we decided to do then is change it up and film the performances in the highest possible quality that we can and upload it straight to YouTube as quickly as possible. All right. Then we also decided not to lose completely the live streaming element, and we did live stream, and we have been this season, live streaming the March Past and the results. Okay, so that's obviously the bit that everyone wants to hear, who won what on a given weekend. And we found that that is important to everyone in the piping scene, and you don't need the most highest quality visuals for that, because really, essentially, all you're really doing is listening to hear who won what. So, yeah, even if you're standing in a field and looking at someone's brogues for an hour as you're hearing the results, you still get to hear the results. So, yeah, we decided we're going to live stream it. We're going to do our best to get the best position possible. But you might have seen, now this is kind of the crux of all of our argument here. All of our filming, all of our live streaming decisions, all of it has been kind of, curtailed, I guess, to a certain degree. We are all competitors. All of us here in the Big Rab Show team are all competing, myself included, so we're all in that competition circle, and it's very difficult to be able to capture every single grade, considering that we may well be playing in that grade. All right, so I'm going to throw that out there. I hope it answers all of the complaints, but it's definitely a bugbear of ours. We've been getting so many complaints. Oh, Rab, why are you not filming grade 4B? Well, it's because I'm competing in grade 4B at the minute. Or there might well be a weekend where I am not there, and there might be other team members in attendance, and they may be competing in the likes of grade 2, grade 1, grade 3A, etc. And it's just impossible to film these grades and compete in them at the same time. So I hope that makes sense. We're not deliberately not filming particular grades just because we want to ignore it. We're not filming them because we physically can't. We can't be in like 5 different places at one time. Yeah. Now, we have put the call out endless times now for Rab Show team members to join us. And in particular, if you do have an interest in piping and drumming and you may not be a competitor or just a spectator, then, yeah, we would love to hear from you, because you would have a lot more versatility on the day of a competition than any of us would. We're all competitors. Now, you might have also seen evidence of this recently in our live streams. Our live streams have been from in the middle of the March Past. So we would have to kind of march on with our band, do all the ceremonial stuff, and then kind of sneakily get our cameras out and then start live streaming the results. You might well have caught that. And some of our live streams for the results have also been right in the middle of a whole big bunch of bands. And sometimes you do get some choice language in there, along with some clapping and cheering and yoo-hoo, and sometimes it's difficult to hear. So that's just the nature of being in the middle of it. All right, maybe it's a camera viewpoint that doesn't get captured by other sources. A lot of them, other sources that might try to film, results and march passes and stuff, they do have better access, maybe are standing right next to the bigwigs, for example. But yeah, our live streams of results this year have been from inside the March Past. So yeah, sometimes we get choice language, sometimes we get raucous supporters of pipe bands. They are what they are. We do what we can with the live streams and with our filming element as well. Again, I have to stress, we're all volunteers in this. And that brings me on to my next point on Rab's Soapbox. Oh, yeah, we're progressing through this rightly. So, yeah, number 2 was complaints about not filming or live streaming and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully I've addressed that. But the next one is thinking that we're absolutely minted. Yeah, for some reason, there's this perception out there in the piping scene that the Big Rab Show team are absolutely flush with money, and that we're absolutely stinking rich. Now, I don't know where this impression comes from. I just don't get it. We are far from it. We are not minted. It has been suggested in the past. Now, this one really kind of, I don't know, took the cake, I guess, for me. But this one was suggested by a member of the public saying, why are you not live streaming grade 1 today, Rab? I said, well, we're not live streaming it, but we are filming it for our YouTube channel. That's not good enough. Just look at the coverage that was provided in Australia and New Zealand. That's just not good enough, Rab. All right? Now, I just didn't know what to say to that. I said, well, sorry for disappointing you. We'll do what we can and get it uploaded to YouTube as quick as we can. All right, so you can't please everyone. And the reason why a lot of people seem to think that we're minted is because they believe that we are a professional production company and that we can hire in broadcast trucks with satellite connections and have a team of like high-definition cameras and sound trucks and all this kind. Yeah, we don't have access to any of that stuff. Like I said, we're competitors. We're pipers and drummers, and we're there on the day with our phones and our sparns, who just happen to maybe bring a tripod with us in our pipe box, and then we'll take that tripod to an arena and hopefully try and capture some performances for you. I don't know where this perception has come from that we are a professional production company with a whole team of people who are dedicated to live streaming and bringing performances similar to what they brought in New Zealand and Australia. And I just don't understand it. There is this perception that we're not good enough. We're not doing a good enough job. Look at what they're doing in Australia and New Zealand and all of these other different organizations around the globe that are doing live streamed footage from their competitions. I have to say that, yeah, we're volunteers. We are absolutely not minted, although we'd like to be. But yeah, we're far from it. The likes of our Patreon, our show sponsors, those ads you heard earlier on in the pod, they really do help us whenever we're attending competitions. They help pay for things like travel, admission, and other kind of incidentals, as well as everything, all of our online fees, our hosting fees, websites, all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't come cheap. This podcasting game, none of us are getting rich at it. And now that we're, especially me, whenever I'm now in the circle competing, I have the same expenses as everybody else. Whenever it comes to live streaming and filming and not being a professional production company, apologies. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a common I don't know. A lot of people just really seem to think that, Rab Show Team, they're stinking rich. They get, they get the best of equipment and gear, and they have a team of 15 people at every ring. No, normally it's one guy with a phone filming things. Anyway, so that's number 3 on the list. People thinking that we're minted. Okay, number 4 on the list. We're getting through it, don't worry. Number 4 is seeing that, a Big Rab Show team member is standing filming a band. Right? Now, this could be either in the competition circle or in final tuning or anywhere else around the arena. We could be standing, filming a band, and then someone looks at you, goes, "Oh, you're recording a band." Yes. And then they proceed to stand in front of your camera anyway. What? I don't see the amount of times that's happened. Now, I get it. I'm a short fella, My nickname is Big Rab, but I'm really not that big. But a lot of people seem to have, let's make it a game. Let's stand in front of Rab and his camera and make a move. So, I don't know. It's not just me. It has happened to many other team members this year, and that was quite common. And we were compiling our list that people would find out, "Oh, are you filming?" You would answer them, "Yeah." And they would go ahead and stand in front of you anyway. What? Don't get it, don't understand it, but it has happened more times than enough. So if you do see us filming and you need to walk from point A to point B, 100%, go ahead. Yeah, please don't think you have to walk around the world to get around our camera. Go for it. Go from A to B, But for those of you who go from point A and then park yourselves in front of our camera and then stand there and go, "There's no issue here." I don't know. Rab Soapbox. I'm giving off about it. It's happened more times than enough. You can go back and look at those videos that we have had to edit where that has happened. And perhaps those videos are a bit shorter as a result of someone deciding to stand in front of our camera. There you are. What seems to have been happening quite a lot this year is that judges are standing in front of our camera quite frequently. Now, this causes an issue. And it's something we haven't discussed really on the pod. Now, absolutely, judges can stand in front of our camera all the time. I have no problem with that at all. But what I have a bit of a concern because we are filming in 4K. One of the highest resolutions that we can. Even some of our cameras that we haven't tried yet actually can film up to 8K. Yeah, we haven't tried this function yet, and for good reason. Because what we found is whenever we're filming in 4K, whenever we're editing the footage, we can actually zoom in and see what the judge has written on their sheet. Yeah, that has happened. So we found that we can do this, but we haven't done this. Does that make sense? We found that the resolution on our image is so sharp that we are able to view if the judge stands directly in front of our camera. We can look over the shoulder and zoom in on their crit sheet. Now, yeah, we haven't done that. We haven't released any video of this at all. So, yeah, for those of you who are now going to troll through our YouTube channel to see if that's possible, no, it's not. We haven't. We have deliberately not had that in there. So, hope that makes sense. But it does make for a worry in development. If a judge does decide to stand in front of our 4K camera and, carelessly hold out their crit sheet to say, "Here, camera, have a look at this," well, the camera's going to have a look at it. So, that's another possible concern there. It does bring me on to, 0.5 and 0.6 on our list kind of come together in this one. Yeah, 0.5 is, if you're standing there filming for the Big Rab Show team, we normally do try to, make ourselves known. We have Rab Show merchandise that has our logos on it. We normally have either the purple hoodies or the purple t-shirts. You've probably seen us now at competitions. Over the last couple of years, we're very clearly identified. We wear bright colours, clothing, and we pick ourselves out as being members of the Rab Show team. You could definitely see us. If you see anyone with Rab Show logos on, merch and stuff, then chances are that's a Rab Show team member and they're there filming for the Big Rab Show. So what happens is if a Rab Show team member is standing in an arena with a camera, we have found that, I'm not going to out them here, but quite a number of officials, judges, and stewards and all of that would definitely be giving us the side eye. Yeah. We would get quite a number of filthy looks from officials, thinking, there's them Rab boys over there. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be happening more frequently in recent years. Now, I don't know whether they believe that we're there to try and capture something and make them look in a bad light or something. I don't know. I just don't get it. But we've been getting tons of filthy looks from officials. I don't know what's going on there. Now, it's not just me, however. As I said, we are clearly marked. We make ourselves stand out. So the judge, the officials, everybody at the ring knows exactly who we are and what we're doing there, in case there's any concerns. So far, no concerns have been raised with us at all. However, plenty of side-eye, as I'd like to say. Yeah. Kind of looking under the brim of your Glengarry to go, that's them boys over there. Watch them. So I don't know why you're watching this. We're not doing anything. We're just filming pipe bands. Anyway, another thing that, kind of 0.6 on the list then brings me to the next one, is that we are not allowed just inside the barrier. All right? Now, we stand there, as we've mentioned, we stand there with the regular punters. We are on the other outside of the barrier with our tripod and filming away. Yeah. Now, of course, we have asked from previous years whether we can get access to the arena. And, of course, the answer has been no. And for good reason. There is a rule in the RSPBA rule book that only official press are allowed within that circle. And, we couldn't agree more. As competitors ourselves, that would be very distracting to have a full camera crew in that arena. And, we are all for it. What we've have been asking for recently is to reach our tripod inside the arena. So basically just to hop it over the fence. All right? And then we can still stand there with general Joe Blogs public and control our camera from outside of the arena. But no, that's not allowed. So that's fine. However, what we've been finding in recent years is that entire camera crews can walk into that arena and start filming away. For example, the Vlog Haul series, and their documentary crew that have been, following People's Ford, Bog Hall and Bathgate into the circle and producing those incredible videos. That's been a thing. So we're not sure how they got that access, but either way, we're glad they did because the videos they got were incredible. They were amazing. The likes of Drone Chorus as well. He has access to the arena. He's in there with the cameras producing some incredibly high quality recordings. And, shout out to Drone Chorus as well. So we have found that if you are granted that access, that the footage that you can get is absolutely fantastic. We have asked for that same access ourselves, and we've been told, no, you stand outside with everybody else. So that's fair enough, But it's one of those things that we just can't figure out. When the regular press, like we would see, even like local newspapers and stuff, would just sort of dander in and like start taking photographs right next to a tenor drummer. We've seen that happen, where, like local press who don't really know what's going on in the piping scene would actually stand in front of an ensemble judge and start taking photos, and it nearly came to blows in some cases. So I don't know. We're definitely well versed in the piping scene. We know how to behave ourselves. We know how pipe bands, how much work and dedication goes into each performance. We would never want to stand in the way of that. So, yeah, the ruling is you just need to stand outside, boys, and that's it. So I hope that makes sense. But it is kind of a bugbear of ours. People keep asking us, why don't we go in there and stand next to drum chorus and get a great video? Well, there's your answer. Yeah. All right, let's move on to point 7 in our list. Yeah, we get quite a number of queries from members of the public when we are out and about. Whenever we are wearing our Big Rab Show merchandise and we point ourselves out as being members of the Rab Show team, people will come up and ask us, who you filming for? Yeah, well, I'm wearing a big purple hoodie and it says Big Rab Show on it. Yeah, we're filming for the Big Rab Show. The very next question is, great, can you film my band? Okay, yes, but you're asking me this question as I'm standing at the Grade 1 arena. We may well have a camera over there, don't know what we can do. So, yeah, that's quite frequent. We get a lot of questions asking, who are you? Who you filming for? Are you live right now? And, yeah, here, can you film my band? So we get tons of these requests, and we do all that we can to get what we can on the day. However, if you do ask us at an arena, can you film my band, and it's on the other side of the park and they're playing in like 10 minutes time, chances are that we've already got our spot in Grade 1 and we're probably staying there for the day. So, hey, to everyone who does continue to ask us this question, absolutely continue to ask it, but it's just, yeah, that's very little we can do about it. And I think that's kind of the frustration on the Rab Show team whenever they added this to the list, is that we can't help everybody. Yeah, that's what I have here. Can't help everyone. So, as much as hey, try and film my band, can you? Well, are they playing right now? Yeah, they're going on 5 minutes here, but I come over because I seen your purple hood. Well, right, Inverari's coming on in like a second here. I can't film 2 bands at once, Anyway, so I just hope that makes sense, that we are disappointed in ourselves, that we can't please everyone. But yes, keep the questions coming, but just know that we can't film everything that moves. There you are. All right. Another common thing that really gets on our goat is complaints about the quality of our live streams. Yeah, the sound and the visuals involved is completely outside of our control, really. We can do what we can on the day to get as best a signal as we can. However, you might have noticed over this last few competitions when we have been live streaming, results and march pasts and everything, that the quality really hasn't been good. And we do get complaints from people saying, Rab, you can't see anything. Oh, Rab, I don't hear anything. I can't hear anything. Why did I not have any sound? Well, I'm going to let you into a little secret here. I'm sure you've probably seen these complaints on our live streams. Whenever you would tune in to watch the results of a competition, you would see in the comments section, I can't hear it. Why has it frozen on my screen? Why is it in portrait, not landscape? Why can't I see this and see that and hear the other? Well, sometimes in the background, another Rab Show team member would be doing the live stream for the results. For example, Adrian Smighton has been doing a lot of the live streaming this year for our results. And I will be in the background tuning in from home, seeing these live comments, and then trying to help everyone out behind the scenes to figure out why can you not hear it, why can't you see it, etc., etc. So I would start and I would contact that person. Hi, I can see you're having a problem with our live stream. Let me try and help, right? And I can tell you this, 9 times out of 10, it's not an issue with our live stream. It's an issue with the actual technology that the person is using to view it. And I'm not kidding on this one. I had a gentleman who was trying to tune in and watch the live stream of the results, and he had his TV on mute. Yep, he had his TV on mute, and he unmuted the TV. And he could hear it now. Okay, it took a lot of strength to bite my tongue and go, okay, there you go, you're sorted now, grand. So there was no issue with our live stream, and we didn't need to panic and end the stream and possibly restart it again in the hope to get a better connection. No, it just happened that this man had muted his TV. So, yes, whenever you are accessing our live streams and stuff, please make sure you have your volume switched on. And if there is any problems with our stream and you are having issues trying to view it or hear it live, then our advice is to refresh your connection. All right, you can do that by pressing F5 if you're watching on a laptop, or you can just click out of the video, close down the app on your phone or your tablet, and then reload it again and access the Rab Show page and try and access it again. It refreshes the connection, and chances are it lets the device itself reconnect and, miraculously find sound and vision. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But I have helped that many people, and yeah, we've found that most times the issues are on their end with the tech that they're using to view the live stream. So there you are. I hope that makes perfect sense. We do get plenty of complaints saying, oh, I can't hear anything. And then, oh, hold on, my TV was muted. Or, oh, I had my phone on silent. Yep, I found the volume button on the side of this tablet here. Aye, there you go. I hope that makes sense. All right. So talking about live streams of the results and stuff, it brings us on to point 9 of quite a common one that we get as we get questions all the time. Yeah, when is the March past? Who won grade 2? When is the results, Rab? Is the speeches happening yet? Rab, who won grade 3A today? Right. For those of you who are asking what time something happens, you know, for example, when are Inverary playing today? When are St. Lawrence playing? When are insert band name here? When are they playing? And all of that kind of stuff. When's the March past? When's the results? I have to say, all of this information is held online. You can go along to the respective branch and view the draw for the competition, and you can see when the last band is due to play. All the times are published there. So if you do want to find out when Inverary, St. Lawrence, or, I don't know, insert band name here, whenever they're playing, you can go and view their draw times on the website. It's there. And I've even seen it for some competitions in the past where they do actually publish the time of when the March past is expected. And, yeah, you have to allow time from whenever the last band plays its final note to whenever the March past commences until when the results are actually read out. Now, what we do in the Rab Show team is we skip past all the speeches and all that kind of stuff. The speeches, the presentations, the salute to the chieftain, all that kind of stuff. We normally do kind of skip that, and we go straight through to the results. Okay? So, I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but it does generate a serious amount of questions on the day of a competition. Every competition, our phones blow up. Yeah, the amount of emails, text messages, personal messages to our own personal profiles, and, countless messages on social media. Hey, Rob, when's the March past, buddy? Go and have a look at the website, and you can see when the last band plays. You know, it's up there, buddy. So, don't get me wrong, I do try my best to answer everyone who does contact us. That can be quite a number of people, though, and I am answering people while I am in the arena. And sometimes I say, well, speeches are happening right now. We're going to go live in about a few minutes after they're done, so bear with us. So sometimes it can get quite frantic, and there are people that I can't message back because we are live. So that has happened before. They go, Rob, when are you live with the results and all? And I'm streaming right now. So you can't really answer them. There you go. So, yeah, frequent questions about who has won what when the results haven't been read out. That happens a lot as well. For example, at the UK Championships this year, I got a message at 3 p.m. asking me who won in Grade 1. Grade 1's still happening at the minute, mate. You're going to have to wait a little while to find that out. We get that on the day of a competition. It could be quite frantic. And a lot of us, as I say, we're competitors or we're working filming at an arena, and we can't message you back. And then we get people complaining, saying, oh, you never messaged me back, lad. Well, come on. I was in the middle of an MSR. What did you want me to do? Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. We will try and answer everybody on the day of a competition. A lot of the information that is commonly requested, however, is available online. You can go and check it out. All right? So, I don't know. This feels good. I'm getting a lot off my chest now. Yeah. And I'm sure the Rab Show team are all laughing hysterically right now because all of this is something we have experienced firsthand. Yeah, And right, I'm going to close it all off now with point 10 on our Big Rab Show Soapbox, and that is I can't hear your show on Fuse FM. This is a very common one. Now, we put it up on our website, all across our socials. We tell people, hi, we're live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. UK time. You can tune in and listen to the show live on Fuse FM Ballymoney. Now, Fuse FM Ballymoney is a community radio station. It does broadcast on FM radio in the local vicinity of Ballymoney, Coleraine, all around that, well, what we call the triangle area of the northwest of Northern Ireland. So all around that area, you can definitely pick it up on your radio and listen in your car or your work or wherever you are, all right? But for the majority of our listeners, we would probably be international as well as national here in the UK. You can tune in to Fuse FM using the TuneIn Radio app. Now, you can do that either through our website, thebigrabshow.com, there's a link there, or of course you can go to Fuse FM Ballymoney on the website and listen live. There's a big button there on their website where you can actually listen to the show online. Now, that could be probably the majority of how our audience tune in. We get quite a number of our audience tuning in internationally around the globe, and that's how they do it. They either access through the website or they download the TuneIn Radio app. Now, it's completely free. You can download it on your mobile device, no matter where you are. And I have to stress there's two different versions, all right? There is a paid version of the TuneIn Radio app, and there's a free one. I have to be honest, they both have the same functionality, all right? They're both exactly the same. The only difference between the paid version and the free version is that the free version will play a little advertisement whenever you select the radio station that you want to listen to. So you click on Fuse FM Ballymoney, it plays you a little advert for about 30 seconds, and then boom, you're connected. You can watch or listen to Fuse FM until your heart's content. And a lot of people do that every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and they catch us live. Now, a lot of these questions asking about our Fuse FM Ballymoney radio show would come to us whenever we're not live. So they would message us, for example, on a Monday evening or, a Sunday morning or a Saturday after a competition. Rab, I tuned in to Fuse. I can't hear you. I'm hearing some boy out playing ABBA. Okay, well, we're not live right now. That's maybe another ABBA show. I don't know. And then, sometimes I would frequently get messages saying, why are you playing Tina Turner, Rab? What's going on? Tina Turner never played bagpipes. Huh, what kind of piping show is this? Well, mate, it's a Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m., and I'm not live right now. You're probably listening to someone else. Okay, Fuse FM Ballymoney have a schedule, okay? And I have bosses and managers over there, and we have to strictly adhere to our schedule. I have a window of time where I can produce the Big Rab Show. That window of time is on a Tuesday. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. UK time, and I have 2 hours to do whatever I want. Yeah, so a 2-hour live radio show called The Big Rab Show where I can thump out some bagpiping goodness. And we've been doing it now for a long time. I think it's maybe we're entering our 13th or 14th year at this stage. We've been there on Fuse for a long time. And that time spot has never changed. Yeah, I think initially whenever we did begin with Fuse FM, we were on a Wednesday. I think that's when bosses put us in. But then whenever they went full-time and we went full-time with them, then absolutely that changed to a Tuesday and has never changed. Tuesday at 7, live for 2 hours every week. All right? So whenever you're messaging us going, Rab, I tuning in now and for some reason Celine Dion is saying that her heart will go on. Sure, there's no pipes in that there. Mate, you're messaging me on a Friday morning. We're not live on Friday morning. Yeah, believe it or not, this happens more times than enough. You wouldn't believe it. And yeah, I don't know. So I just want to throw it out there again that if you are wanting to catch us live on Fuse FM, then please do tune in at the correct date and time. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. All right, I've said it a number of times now. But I know I'm going to work in a shameless plug now at this point. I'm sure you've seen it coming. If you do happen to miss our live show, you can go over to Patreon, click on support, and you get access to our weekly show over there. Now, we upload every single Fuse show that we do. there's now years worth of material over there. Years and years. And when you consider that every show lasts for 2 hours, if you were to download every show that we have, I think it's bound to be well over 200 or 300 shows at this point, and each one's 2 hours long, that's a lot of piping and drumming right there. So, we do say that we have a huge community over there on Patreon, and that's very true. And we do pride ourselves on our community over there because, yes, these sometimes are folks who can't tune in and listen to us live, but they absolutely want to. So, the only way they can catch our radio show is to wait until it's published on Patreon and they can download it. And then they can listen to it any time of the day or night, that show from that week. So, a lot of people who are listening to the podcast right now are members of Patreon, and they download our show every week. So, on the Wednesday that you're listening right now, they download the podcast, and they also download the Fuse FM show, because normally we do upload both on the same night. You can get our Fuse FM show, which is a 2-hour live radio show, and you get our podcast as well on the Wednesday. What's not to love? There you go. So, if you do happen to miss it, you can go and listen again on Patreon. And you can go back through our back catalogue, by the way. You can go back right now and listen to what we done over World's Week last year, or the year before, or the year before. So there's a wealth of Fuse FM shows over there, and some of them are absolute crackers, I have to say. Wow. Anyway, so I know that sounds like a huge shameless plug for Patreon. Absolutely is, but it's definitely worth a visit right there. So, folks, thank you for allowing me to get on my soapbox. That's a lot of stuff that has been grinding our gears in recent years. And, especially now that we have introduced new team members especially, this has all kind of come to the fore, where team members are coming to me and say, Rab, do you ever get dirty looks from an official at an arena? Yep, all the time. Oh, that's all right. It's not just me then. Yeah. Nope, it's not just you. Happens to all of us here in the Rab Show team. Don't worry. We get a message from the Rab Show team members saying, "Hey, Rab, why do people think that we should be carrying around big high-definition cameras?" And I tell them, nah, it's just my phone. And they're like dead surprised. People think we're minted. People think that we should be running around with like IMAX cinema cameras and stuff, that you have to throw on your shoulder and do all that business. It's a phone that can fit in your sparring. That's what we're dealing with at the minute. Hey, if people want to make us minted and, our donation box is open, you can throw us £500,000, then absolutely, we'll rock up to the next competition with a broadcast truck. 2 or 3 of them, and a full team of professional, cameramen and sound guys and stuff. Wouldn't that be good, though? Yeah, I've often said this, that if we didn't win the lotto, the Big Rab Show would just go gangbusters. Yeah, we'll be attending competitions in Newcastle, for example, and we'll be rocking up with a full film crew. You can expect a whole cinema experience. Yeah, full surround sound. Why not? We'll go the IMAX route. Maybe even get Ridley Scott to direct something for us. The World Championships by Ridley Scott. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Hey, I don't know. See, if you had the budget, you could do everything, But hey, we're all pipers and drummers. We're in this for the love of the music, And if we can point our cameras at a pipe band on a weekend, we'll do our best. We're all volunteers. We love this music, and that's why we do it. We want to try and help the scene in the best way possible. And I know I've got on my soapbox this week and complained about a whole dose of it, but it's just stuff that we've been encountering this year and previous years. And, number one on the list, if you're going to have a conversation, please do it in between performances, or maybe do it away from the arena. Don't shout across at Stevie and ask him how his daughter is. I still can't believe that happened, but genuinely it did. Anyway, I don't want it to happen again. And if I do see that fella again, I probably will have to bite my tongue for trying not to laugh. Anyway, it's a very cringe-worthy moment, and I'm sure the people who were involved know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't mention names, so don't come at me. All right, well, if anything we talked about on this week's topic of the week did ring a bell with you, then please do email us in. bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Send us in what grinds your gears at a competition. That would make a good show, wouldn't it? Yeah, so instead of Rab's soapbox, it'll be your soapbox, I guess. But if anything, that's what Weekly Drone is for, isn't it? Yeah, you can send us in your own weekly drones, of course, completely anonymous, and without fear of recrimination, like I have right now. So I probably will get recrimination for this, but come on, we had to talk about it at some point. These are things that just happen way too often to us in the Rab Show team. Anyway, so now it's out there in the public domain. You can let us have it. You can go to Weekly Drum, let us know your own thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about on this show, or any previous show for that matter. And warts and all, completely anonymous. That's the beauty of it. Anyway, right, that's it for another Big Rab Show. We are wrapping up at this point. Yes, thank you all for downloading this week. And again, I'm going to plug it again. Yeah, if you do want to check us out on Patreon, go ahead. Every click of support really does help us produce the content. And who knows, there may come a day we can hire Ridley Scott to produce an episode of the Rab Show at the Worlds. That'd be fun though, wouldn't it? Explosions and pigeons flying all over the place. Anyway, okay, that's it. Another topic of the week is in the can, and we'll catch you all next week for our Scottish Championship preview. Yes, we're looking forward to getting into all the action in Dumbarton next week. Oh, that's going to be exciting. Anyway, that's it. We'll see you all on next week's pod. Until then, all the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.